Hey lieve luisteraars, vandaag bij RebelzzRadio. We zitten lekker buiten met de Amerikaanse artiest tripsup. Je weet toch, we gaan vandaag gewoon lekker buiten een interview doen. Het is een beetje mooi weer vandaag. Dus weet dat we in het Engels verder gaan. Hi tripsup.
What's up, Razza? What's up, love? How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Chilling, man. You know.
Yeah.
Out here in the Netherlands, nice cool breeze.
I love it when you're here, you know, and to do the interview with you.
Yeah, no problem. You know, I had to make it a point to do the interview this time. You know, I've been in the Netherlands a few times, but definitely this time I wanted to make it a point to, you know, connect with RebelzzRadio, man, in the RS Online project. You already know.
Je weet toch, het staat hier gewoon op het t-shirt. Dope. What should or can people know about you?
I'm tripsup. I look young, but I'm older. I'm 30 years old, a young man who's been doing this for a long time. You know, I would say 15 years I've been writing music and recording music. So what I want them to know about me is longevity. You know, a lot of the flow that they hear didn't come yesterday. You know, it's been over time that I've been working on my style and just how I want to present myself, you know. So what I want the people to know is just I'm friendly. Yeah. I take the art serious. Also, that I'm willing to go to whatever length it takes to make my dream happen. So yeah. That's what I want the people.
How did you start making music?
I would say how I started was I used to write poetry when I was younger, like around 14. I used to write just poetry words, not necessarily music. And then I got introduced to a group called Outkast. And when I heard those guys make music, it just sparked something inside of me that was like, hey, I'm already making poetry, so I should just translate poetry into actually making music, you know? And being that I was writing poetry, it was an easy transition over to music. So I would say Outkast was a big part of me starting to make music, Twista, different artists like that. Just being influenced by what I seen musically. But prior to that, it was just more or less the artistic way of learning how to make words fit. And I think when I start seeing it on TV and knowing that you can actually make a profession out of rapping or putting words to a beat, that's when I made the connection from poetry to actually songwriting and making music. So, you know, I would say 14 years old before I got hold of
How old were you before you start rapping?
I would say before I started rapping was 14.
14.
Yeah. And
when you start rapping?
I would say like a year later, because I was writing poetry for a year at 14, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So then around 15, I started seeing the videos and connected with different groups that I liked. I was like, oh, okay. I don't have to write poetry only. I can put the words over a beat as well. Yeah. You know, so around 15 is when I actually started to go in the studio and make music. So 15, a year later after 14.
Okay. And what kind of music you make?
I would say a clash between like hip hop, soul. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a singer, but I know how to put melody to the beat. So I'm good with using my voice to create a certain sound. So I would say a mix between hip hop, soul, and R&B, and just trying to get back to the essence of hip hop and where it all started rather than where it is today. Not saying I don't like where it is today. I like the upbeat tunes of today's music, but I also like the low-key sound of yesterday's.
How can you describe yourself best?
An artist that knows a lot, but an artist that still has a lot to learn. Because a lot of artists, they feel they know everything. Yeah. Or they feel like they have the answers to everything, when in turn it's a lot of people that have to go behind an artist to make an artist happen, you know, or to make an artist be heard or seen. So I would say I'm an artist that's learning, but that also needs to be taught, you know, and that's also willing to learn and know that I need a network of friends in order to make my dream happen, and I can't do it alone. So,
Well, that's a good dream, right?
yeah, very good dream.
Yeah.
I can't say no. This is the best dream I could say for me. You know what I mean? A lot of people are forcing it, but this is something I could say I love, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make sure this dream comes true.
Yeah, you got support from your wifey, your mother, your
I
friends.
have tons of support, and I feel like their support is propelling me to do the things that I'm doing today.
Okay. Well, that's nice, right?
Very nice. When it's nice, or when I need downtime from music, I work a strenuous job, so I have a very demanding, 9-to-5 job. Aside from that, things I like to do that just take my mind away from, the normal realities of what we have to go through would be just walking, taking nice walks, like enjoying nature, walking through parks. You know what I mean? Artistic things as well. I'm involved in. I have a business called CT Clay Candy where I make chains out of clay. So a lot of clay molding, and just different artistic things. Just to keep the mind formulated with good thoughts and artistic thoughts outside of music. You know what I mean? So I would say anything artistic, or just anything mind evolving.
Okay, that's nice.
And I love artistic things, rather. What can I say?
What was the nicest performer you had?
I would say the nicest performance I had was here in the Netherlands, Winston's Kingdom. If I'm saying that right, Winston's Kingdom down in the city center.
I guess so.
It was a nice. I would say the first time I came to Amsterdam, I had a show at Winston's Kingdom, and just the crowd participation was amazing. Just the way that people perceived the music was amazing. I mean, I had some good shows in the States, but it's always good to come to a place where people don't know you, and you make the music worlds away. And when you come to a different place that people perceive the music as if you made it in that country, it's always good. So I would say here in the Netherlands was one of the best performances I had, as far as crowd participation and everybody engaged in the music when I was performing. That was like an awesome time, I would say.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Very good time.
Okay, and how often you perform?
How often do I perform? I would say not as much as I want to, but I'm consistently looking for venues and different things to be involved in musically. So I travel to different places and look for different promoters I can link with to perform. As I said, I'm independent, so I don't have a booking agent. I don't have a manager, different people to set these things up. So a lot of times it's me actually being hands-on with a lot of the situations and taking a lot of situations into my own hands. So I would say about out of a month, I might perform twice a month, in which I want to bring those numbers up to 4 times a month. But I would say any process is a slow process till you get it where it's more consistent. You know what I mean? So right now it's 2 shows a month, but the goal is to bring that number up and to kind of press the gas on the situation.
Okay, well, that's nice. Which artist you don't like so much?
I would say there's a lot of artists I just don't like their music, or just a choice of music they choose to make. But in all, I would say I respect every artist, because to take a plain beat or instrumental, think of words to put over that instrumental and come up with a song, that takes talent in some way.
Yeah.
So I would say I respect every artist for being an artist enough to create. But I'm not into music that has no message, or that's provoking another generation to do things that they wouldn't do, or that they're not true to. So any false prophet music, or any music that's like leading a life that's, not a life of a good existence, then I'm against music like that. So a lot of gangster rap, I wouldn't say I don't like it, because that's a lot of people's background. That's where they come from. I feel the gangster rap is pushing out a message to the youth that's less of a conscious message. We have a lot going on in the States and in the world to push a message that don't kind of teach you anything. So I'm against the whole gangster rap, even though I realize that that's a lot of their environment that they grew up in, so they must talk about what they're around. So to elaborate on what I was saying is that's the type of music that I don't agree with. Just a more or less gangster rap type of vibe, you know? It passes off a bad message to me.
To you, okay, you're right. But do you have always a message in your song?
Yes.
Lieve mensen, we zitten bij Schiphol. Dus soms hoor je echt vervelend geluid. Je weet toch? En dan gaat het gewoon even anders. Maar het is wel heel gezellig. Je weet toch? Ik bedoel, we weten nu wel wanneer we moeten stoppen. Kijk, zoals nu komt er weer zo'n vliegtuig aan. Oh, helikopter, sorry. Ze zoeken me. You know, Rebels Radio is in the building. You said smears?
I'm waiting for this damn truck. And I know this one's gonna make some noise too.
We hebben hem geleerd hoe je smeres zegt. Tripsup.
Yes.
Say smeres.
Smears.
You see?
Smears. Smears.
We leren hem gelijk de leukste woorden. But his wife, he also can say it.
Slowly but surely, we learning the Netherlands dialect.
Smeres.
Smeres.
All right, fuck it.
Okay. What were you saying?
The gangster.
Gangster
Oh,
rap.
the gangster rap.
Yeah,
No.
gangster
I
rap.
ask you if you have a message in your
In my
song.
music,
Yes. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, I would say most of the times when I create music, I try to pass off a message, even if it's the smallest, you know, message to a person, kind of uplift a person day, even if it's not an uplifting song, a message that's like, hey, she's the wrong girl, you know, if it's a song about that topic matter, just trying to pass off something to gain from, rather something to take away from the people. You know, I figure a lot of the music takes away from the quality of the, always a positive vibe, always a good message or something to gain from in my music. I would say so, definitely.
Okay, well that's nice. I would know because I listen to your music.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Is life like an artist always like sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
I feel in a lot of ways it is. So for me, as an artist, it's always important to change that message or to put another message aside from the alcohol, drug abusing, cars, clothes, women.
Yeah.
It's like when you think of rap music, you think of those things.
Yeah.
So me as an artist, I want to change that perception and just say, like, when you listen to my music, you get a wide range.
Is life like an artist really like sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
I would say in a lot of ways, yes. But a lot of the times what artists portray on the screen is not how they are truly in person, you know? So I would say a lot of times when people think of hip hop or think of rap music or think of that art, they think of girls, cars, drugs, you know what I mean? And I guess in my music, that's what I'm trying to do to change the perspective of what people think of hip hop music or rap music. I want people to hear my music and definitely know that we're trying to pass off a different message rather than the cliche message of just driving a nice car, dressing in nice clothes, or having a good girlfriend or whatever. Or, I'm really trying to pass off a message in my music and change the perception of what people think hip hop really is. So I will say that, you know what I mean?
Okay.
The best performer for me out now?
Yes.
I would say my best performing artist is Andre 3000. He's always going to be the best to me. But up and coming and newer artists, I would say I like Ache. Ache?
Atje.
Yeah.
Yes.
I vibe his music. I can't understand the dialect, but I understand like the grime. When I look at the music video, it's like I can understand Dutch when I look at his videos. So I love his music videos. From the States, I like Schoolboy Q. I like Kendrick Lamar, of course, J. Cole. I like trap artists. I like 2 Chainz, the obvious people, you know, Migos. I like the trap sound, but a lot of the times I don't like the message. So I might vibe with the beat, and I know, you know, that the song is nice and high tempo beat. But I would say, a range of trap music to even Netherlands hip hop artists. You know, I find myself, once I know about them, even when I'm in the States, I look back and reference those guys. So some of my favorite artists is just artists I can't even understand, like Dutch artists. You know, it's just knowing that everybody everywhere is enjoying the grind of, you know, getting music from one point to another. So, you know, a lot of the newer guys, or guys that I just found out, are my favorite artists. You know, I would say there's no one in particular. It's just anybody that's creating a newer sound and trying to deliver a good message. Chance the Rapper, that's another one. 6 Black from Toronto, a lot of Toronto artists, OVO. You know, I just like eclectic music makers.
Okay.
What's the craziest kind of thing a fan did?
Yes.
Or,
Yeah.
I would say another moment here in the Netherlands where, just out of the blue, I'm just walking around town, and I make a lot of my music videos. I made a few music videos in Paris and in Europe, but the rest of my music videos are done in the States. And I'm here in the Netherlands city center, and I'm just walking around, and some guy is playing my music while I'm standing in the city center. Was the craziest thing, I would say, the most bizarre thing, you know, in reference to me seeing a fan while he's enjoying my sound or enjoying my music, is walking past while I'm there. So it's kind of shocking to him and shocking to me all in the same. So, you know, a lot of crazy moments happen in the Netherlands, man. It's like, in the States, there's so many artists that you might not get a lot of attention on you when you want it, because it's so many artists and so many rappers. But here in the Netherlands, they recognize great music, or they recognize a good sound, and they'll show you love when they see you. In the States, it's, you know, I'm not going to say everyone, but a good percentage of people will like your music but never tell you they like it, you know? So whereas I come here and it's like, hey man, I just seen your video, we like your sound or whatever, keep it up or whatever. I get motivation from the States, but I would say I get a lot of motivation from abroad and when I go other places, when people look back on my music. So the craziest experience I got with a fan is a fan listening to my music, walking by me and recognizing me as he's listening to my music, and we just connect. That moment was like one of the most bizarre but realest moments and connection with a fan that I've had, I would say.
Well, it's very nice.
Yeah, it was good for me as well, you know, just
Yeah.
to get good fan reaction and just, you know, someone that recognized me while they're playing my music. That was awesome.
I guess so too. What is the best song you wrote?
One of the best songs I wrote is, I wrote a few. Like any song that I write about my mom, or like living in a situation and wanting to come out of that situation, like living somewhere and imagining living somewhere else, or helping your mom, or I wrote a few songs like that. So those are the songs that's like near to my heart that I love the most.
Yeah.
But If You Let 'Em, the song that I shot here in Europe, is just getting so much good feedback from everyone, everywhere, you know. Anywhere I go, they always mention that song. Oh man, the song If You Let 'Em really did something for me, or really brought a good vibe to me. So I would say one of the best songs I wrote in connection with what other people are telling me is If You Let 'Em. But if I can say personally, any song that I write for my mom or for my daughters, those are the best songs to me. Because those are the songs that my daughters will hear later, and they will say, Dad was thinking of me when I was young. Or my mother can say when she get older, my son made songs about me because he loved me, you know? So those are the best songs to me. But perception-wise, from the public and what the feedback, If You Let 'Em is one of my best songs that I can say I've wrote that people connected to.
Okay.
I would say the biggest moment to date I would say moments with the S.
Oh, okay.
You know, because I don't have a lot of grand things happen to me. I'm moving on a independent way of moving. I control everything. I don't have a lot of people overseeing everything I do. So a lot of the great moments is connecting with new people in different places that I go. Those are like highlights in my moment, because a lot of things wouldn't happen for me if I don't meet other people that connect with me as a person, let alone connect with my music. So some of my highlights is just meeting other people in different countries, working with different producers, working with different videographers, and making more connections. Those are like the highlight, like every highlight of my career as an artist. I don't have one moment that stick out more than others. It's just I enjoy every performance. I enjoy every bit of support that I get from everyone everywhere. My highlight is just connecting with people and making good music that people can enjoy, so that's my every highlight. I don't have one moment that's better than any connection with people, with my music, from me writing it on a personal note, putting it on social networks and YouTube and different outlets, and people actually perceiving it well and saying, hey, we like your music. If someone comments to me on my YouTube video and say, I love your video, that's a highlight for me. Or that's a big moment. That's like priceless moments, because a lot of times when I make this music, I never know if people are going to like it or not. And we just put music out and just hoping people connect with it. So any moment that a person is telling me how much they love my music is a highlight moment for me.
Okay. What are your international ambitions?
Ambitions here are just to, make more connections, man. Have more of a reason to come overseas. First off, as an American, we see Europe as this grand place, and I want to explore this grand place, I just love everything about Europe, everything about Netherlands area. I haven't got any bad vibes from any people, just, how can I say, make more connections, make more friends with people, have a reason for people, not only for me to come to your country, but you to come to mine. If you are in my area, extend the invitation to you guys as well. And just make more friends and connections, more reasons to come to this beautiful place, enjoy the beautiful people, enjoy the good chronic, the good smoke, But yeah, my ambitions is just to grow in Europe, because a lot of artists from Europe might want to go to the States, but never know the artists from the States want to come to Europe. So it's just funny how we look at things sometimes.
Okay. Okay. Where can we find you in the future? Okay.
Yeah.
Where can we? Was dat wel goed? Was good?
Yeah,
Where can we
find you in the future?
Okay. Where can we find you in the future?
You can find me always at www.tripsupyourheard.com, TRIPSUP, YAHeard.com, all one word. Instagram, of course, at tripsup. Matter of fact, every social network at tripsup. The best way to stay in contact with my video content would be YouTube. Also, my video content will also be up on my website as well. Just look for me on your Spotify, on your Amazon, on your Pandora, on your Tidal. Any of those music streaming networks, look for me, as well as, Facebook at tripsup. Like I said, every social network at tripsup. So those are the ways you can definitely stay in contact with me whenever you need me. My website and all social networks. I'm on social networks a lot. So I definitely stay in tune with the social network world.
Nice. So everything on social media is at tripsup.
At tripsup, you heard?
With which artist you wanna work with?
Me, I want to work with any artist that want to work with me, A lot of times you extend an invitation to artists and they not perceive your invitation the way you perceive it. So any artist that like my sound and feel like we can make a good song, I'm always adamant
to do tracks with artists that hear my sound and like my sound prior to us making songs together. Just a situation or any situation where the artistic vibe is not forced and we can both get off our message on a song, you know. A lot of times when artists make songs with each other, it's not because they want to, it's because they have to, it's because business reasons. I just want to work with anybody who would like to work with me. Those are the best songs, and I feel like that's the best creative energy when you work with someone that wants to work with you.
That's right. Okay, do you have some advice for the listeners or
Yeah.
the people who watch this right now?
Yes, my advice is just, you know, no matter how long it takes to get your dreams and hopes off the floor, just keep pushing, you know. It's a lot of times we get down on whatever it is we might do or whatever profession we chose to put our time into, but just what I want people to take away from anything is just keep pushing, man. A lot of the times it seems like you won't get where you want to be or achieve what you want to achieve, but with time and persistent effort and, you know, support from friends, family, close and near, I believe anything can happen, you know. So I would say just don't let anything slow you down. Stay persistent. It might not seem like something big now, but anything that's small can become big with enough work and enough persistence. So, you know, I just want everybody to just know, stay at it, man. You know, a lot of things we want don't happen overnight, but they will happen if we just put consistent work into it and just believe in everything we do.
Okay, well, just follow his advice, you know. TripSup, this was the interview, so I will thank you for everything.
No problem. It's
For your
always
time,
a blessing.
you know.
No problem. No problem. It was definitely a must. Whenever I touch down in the Netherlands, I have to, you know, link up with RS Project Online, Rebels Radio, and just, you know, it was a due justice this time, and I couldn't be in town without giving you guys the interview, man. Most definitely, man.
Yes. Well, thank you.
No, thank you.
Love, man.